The second day of July 2026 it is. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to KBC Lunchtime News, talking about the morning. Today, USA beat Bosnia and Herzegovina 2-0 and they are through to the round of 16. I'm talking about the World Cup. Remember, World Cup echo KBC. And tonight, Spain face Austria in a match that we'll be televising. That's just part of what we will be featuring on this broadcast. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Njue. My co-anchor on the sign language interpretation is Lucy Mwaura. Straight to the news. Police in Ikolomani constituency, Kakamega County, have launched a manhunt for a 59-year-old woman who is accused of fatally attacking her 62-year-old husband with a machete after a disagreement over the sale of their cow's milk. Family members claim the suspect attacked her husband after accusing him of spending the money on alcohol without consulting her. She said, Sub-Location Assistant Chief Dennis Lumiti said the couple had a history of domestic conflicts and had recently appeared before his office for mediation.
Huyu mama kila wakati ni vita, vita, vita. Na hii boma amedharau kila mtu, haezi mwambia kitu. Amefanya boma kuwa yake.
Kwa sababu kisa kama hichi wanasema sio ya kwanza. Hawa wanapigana kila mara. Watoto wao wanasema wamekuwa wanapigana hata wakiwa wadogo. Mpaka wamezaa watoto 7. Sasa imeleta hii maafa mwenye tunaona hapa.
The Office of the Auditor General has called for greater accountability in the management of public land. During the launch of the Guide for the Preparation of Land Use and Management Plans for Land Held by Public Agencies, Auditor General Nancy Gadongo said proper land use and planning are essential in protecting public assets, improving service delivery, and supporting sustainable development. She also urged county governments to fast-track the preparation and approval of county spatial plans, noting that 22 out of 47 counties currently have approved plans.
Where there is lack of these plans, and that's why I'm very, very pleased with the National Land Commission that they have listened, they have looked at my audit reports, and they have provided the guide now, then it would be easy once the entities implement, it will be easy for us to have a conversation between the auditor and the entity.
All this is leading to a point where we are going to be more planful, and more planful leads to environmental protection, also designing sustainable development, and also fitting all our plans into one place where we can gather information on how to invest, or where not to invest.
The President actually has given us Section 14 and 15 now fully operational under the leadership of the National Land Commission. This will mandate us to review grants and revoke illegal titles. So where the public land has been grabbed, now we have the powers to do so.
Whatever land is in their custody, they must be able, 1, to account for it, and 2, to also show the extent of the land. And I liked the challenge that we've been given today, that we must not talk in percentages, we must talk in acreage.
Elsewhere, police officers attached to Mirangine police station in Nyandarua County have been cleared of the blame in the death of a 64-year-old man. George Kehia died at Mirangine dispensary shortly after falling ill while in police custody. He had been arrested on Tuesday last week for allegedly driving a vehicle without a valid insurance certificate. An autopsy conducted by a pathologist, Dr. Titus Ngulungu, at J.M. Kariuki Memorial County Referral Hospital in Ol Kalou, revealed that Kehia died from a heart attack.
tumeona marehemu alikuwa na shinda ya heart ilikuwa imekuwa enlarged, imekuwa kubwa, enlargement, kama alikuwa na hypertension, alikuwa na shinda ya kidney ambayo kilikuwa kimeanza kucontract. Alafu kitu ile nyingine tunapata, kulikuwa na bruise katika heart ambayo ilionyeshana ya kwamba alikuwa na heart attack.
Na kiini cha kifo tumeweza kuelewa, mioyo yetu imekubali matokeo ambayo daktari ametueleza tukiwa pale. So familia haina lingine ila kuendelea na kumlaza mwenzetu.
Kwa na wasiwasi ya kwamba ni nini iliweza kuhappen, lakini kulingana na postmortem ile imefanywa, hata sisi watu wa human rights tumetosheka na ile ripoti ambayo imetolewa na daktari.
In other news, the Kenyatta University Teaching, Research and Referral Hospital has been designated as a center of excellence for specialized ear and hearing care. The endorsement is a major milestone in Kenya's effort to expand access to quality hearing health services under the Universal Health Coverage UHC program. The center is expected to enhance the country's capacity to provide specialized diagnosis, treatment and rehabilitation for people with hearing impairments while strengthening early detection and intervention services. Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, who graced the launch, said the initiative will benefit millions of Kenyans affected by hearing challenges by improving access to comprehensive ear, nose and throat ENT services and reducing the need for patients to seek specialized care elsewhere.
Hearing loss affects more than 1 million Kenyans. And if left undetected, it can have very lifelong consequences for communication, for education, and for social inclusion. And I'm encouraged that the school and the community screening program have already identified more than 900 children with hearing needs. Over 100 children have received hearing aids at KUTRH, while about 80 high-risk newborns have undergone hearing screening.
Now, local manufacturers have been challenged to tap into the potential of the menstrual economy. This message took center stage during the Kenya Menstrual Economy Conference held right here in Nairobi. Principal Secretary for Industrialization, Dr. Juma Mukwana, urged local manufacturers to look beyond biological issue and seize the economic opportunity to drive industrial growth and job creation. He further emphasized that local production of menstrual hygiene products can drastically lower cost while empowering local industries. Gender and Affirmative Action Principal Secretary Anne Wangombe, attending the function, emphasized the urgent need to improve the construction of toilets in rural schools and informal settlements to enhance sanitation. She revealed that inadequate infrastructure threatens girls' hygiene and directly undermines their health, dignity, and access to uninterrupted education.
For a long time, we have taken menstrual health and hygiene as a welfare issue, but it is a huge economic sector that is able to attract growth and investment.
Administration is not a problem, but rather a business opportunity that we can take advantage of because it can provide a lot of opportunities for people that are producing sanitary pads. But we have said that beyond there, we also need to go to the school level, and I have requested specifically the county governments to ensure that we have enough facilities, especially in our schools, in terms of toilets, in terms of for both girls and boys, also to have water.
We have been distributing sanitary towels to all school-going children in primary and junior secondary school. And we are saying that no girl should fail to go to school because of failing to afford sanitary towels.
And still on the health beat, widows in Kilifi County have got renewed hope after the county government allocated 10 million shillings to facilitate their registration for the Social Health Authority. Kilifi County Governor Gideon Mungaro assured that his administration will support widows get justice in land inheritance dispute. The governor also directed his deputy, Women CEC and chief officers to come up with programs that support the widows so that they get funding from the county.
Ushikane na wale uulize makamati yote ya county, ushirikane na wenzako, waangalia mama wajane, wale ambao hawajapata fursa ya kulipa pesa za SHA ile ya afya. Hiyo milioni 10 itapatia kina mama wale ambao hawajiwezi, walipiwe SHA ndio wakienda hospitali wasiwe na matatizo ya kulipa bili.
Tunataka mawakili wa county wasimame kidete na hao wajane pamoja na wakili wa FIDA kutetea haki za mjane.
Kwa wale wanawake ambao wana makundi mengine ya wajane kule nje, waje wajiunge katika hili kundi ili sisi kama wajane tukisema tunasonga, tuwe tunasonga mbele kwa pamoja. Mimi next year nimewaambia ni pesa ngapi? Milioni 7 ambayo tutaweka kuwasomeshea watoto wajane wa Malindi constituency.
Away from matters health, calls for increased partnerships and investment in Kenya's music education marked the launch of the Nairobi Regional Music Festivals as preparations for the national competitions gain momentum. Education stakeholders say supporting music and the creative arts will be crucial to unlocking learners' talents under the competency-based education system and nurturing innovation and discipline.
Learning institutions across the country are intensifying preparations for this year's Kenya National Music Festivals, slated for the August 1st to 14th. At Buruburu Girls High School, more than 110 schools from across Nairobi County converged for the launch of the regional competitions.
That is really very good for us. We encourage the parents to allow their children to do what they are good at.
Strengthening support for music education to nurture creativity, social responsibility, and a generation of leaders was emphasized.
Our own Public Service Commission, Teacher Service Commission, quite a number of partners are coming in place in one way or another to assist this championship.
The call came as Equity Bank and the Ministry of Education unveiled a 25 million shillings sponsorship package to facilitate competitions across the country.
With all the stakeholders to ensure that we are now able to monetize this particular talent. And that discussion is already underway between ourselves and the Ministry of Education. And we are determined to make sure that it happens.
Kibabii High School in Bungoma will host the national extravaganza under the theme Enhancing the Creative Economy through Artistic Expression for Sustainable Development.
Switching gears to matters politics now, where Bungoma Governor Kenneth Lusaka has urged religious leaders from the Western Kenya region to back President William Ruto's re-election bid, citing ongoing development projects being implemented by the national government across the region. Speaking in Kakamega County during a meeting that brought together religious leaders from 4 counties in Western Kenya, Lusaka, who is also the chairperson of President William Ruto's Western Kenya campaign team, said the region is well positioned to produce the country's next president in 2032.
3 deputy presidents. We also want presidency. This is my thinking. This is a shortcut. If we give William Samoei Ruto a chance, constitutionally he has to serve 10 years, he will be remaining with 5 years. If you put in a new president, he will have constitutionally has to go for 10 years. So it means we'll have to wait for 10 years. Between waiting for 10 years and 5 years, which one is shorter? Mathematics is hard, but that's very simple mathematics. Kungoja miaka 5 ama 10, 5 ni rahisi kungoja. Na mpira ikikuja upande huu, as a team of Western, what we are saying, you give the ball to whoever is best placed to score. Ama?
Moving on, Kenya and Italy have signed an agreement to strengthen cooperation in preventing and combating crime. During the signing ceremony, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen said Kenya welcomes Italy's integration approach that recognizes the strong link between development, migration management and security. The letter of intent has been signed by Kenya's Ministry of Interior and National Administration and the Italian Ministry of the Interior. It provides a framework for promoting cooperation between the two ministries and their respective police authorities in addressing crime, including transnational organized crime.
As a key partner in this region and as a regional leader in security and peace, Kenya remains committed to working with international partners to safeguard our citizens, secure our borders, and contribute to peace and stability within the African region, the Horn of Africa and beyond. And Your Excellency, we are very happy with your visit here and also the fact that you will go to Somalia. We know that Italy and Somalia have very strong historical ties, and the stability of the government of Somalia is extremely important for the people of Kenya and the security of this country. We spend a lot of resources to protect our border, particularly with Somalia.
Io confido davvero che
and I really do hope that we can sign and implement this agreement very soon. Among other things, I'm also referring to the very fruitful missions that were carried out this past June by two of your delegations to my ministry.
Now, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, has obtained custodial orders to continue questioning a woman accused of cyber harassment targeting the head of state. The application was heard before Principal Magistrate Dolphina Alego at the Milimani Law Courts. This and more in our Scales of Justice segment.
Among a section of the citizens.
The DCI investigator requested 7 days to hold the suspect at Muthaiga police station as they undertake investigations regarding cyber harassment. The accused was arrested in Bamburi, Mombasa County on 30th June 2026.
Your intelligence information has linked the respondent to this particular account that's under investigation.
The accused argued that since he was arrested, the alleged ex-account has remained active, yet her gadgets were confiscated.
And the account that they're saying that it's me, it's Shola, and it's still tweeting. And they took my gadgets yesterday in the morning.
The prosecution side argued that there may be more than one administrator of the ex-account in question and that releasing the accused might tamper with the investigations.
No, my lord.
Elsewhere, the murder trial of Meru County blogger Daniel Mudhami, popularly known as Sniper, continued today at the Kiambu High Court, with the prosecution presenting evidence linking phone communication between the deceased and one of the accused before his disappearance.
At that particular time, my lord, an SMS originating from that number, the aforementioned number.
An Airtel Arson officer testified before Justice Bahati Momuye, explaining that call data records showed multiple phone conversations between the deceased and the first accused on December 2nd, 2023.
There were several communications. A voice call.
How many voice calls? Just take your time and count the number of voice calls.
37. Both voice and SMS.
The hearing was adjourned to 10th of August 2026 when a protected prosecution witness is expected to appear physically before the court to testify. And the hearing of a 5.6 million Kenyan shillings Social Health Authority fraud case continued today before Principal Magistrate Dolphina Alego at the Milimani Law Courts. The accused are facing multiple charges, including conspiracy to defraud and operating an unlicensed health facility.
In the e-contracting, so they need to query with the KMPDC number for the facility. So the system prompted for that number.
The case was adjourned to 21st of July 2026.
From the corridors of justice to Kiambu County, where Governor Kimani Wamatangi has approved the county's 25.1 billion shillings budget for the 2026-27 financial year, with 8.5 billion shillings set aside for development projects. The roads sector received the largest development allocation of 4.5 billion shillings to improve road infrastructure and enhance connectivity. The health sector has been allocated 750 million shillings to equip and operationalize new hospitals, while agriculture will receive 816 million shillings to strengthen food security and improve farmers' incomes. The education sector has been allocated 667 million shillings to support the expansion of early childhood development education ECDE centers and youth empowerment programs. The budget also prioritizes support for trade and enterprise development to create employment opportunities and stimulate the local economy.
Envisaged earlier, in all the other budgets proposed, there is no other government that proposed a budget that has now passed with actual programs that was now heading to the 30 billion Kenya shillings in this county government ever before. But now if you look at the budget that we have both agreed upon, based on programs, actual programs, we are now heading to the 30 billion mark. And that means that even if we were to knock off what we will call our expenditure on emoluments and other expenditures, development itself is finding a voice.
Getting a budget has always been a big problem, a big issue. But the members, some of them here and those that are not here, they have never been given us a hard time when it comes to making the budget. And of course, by far giving our county a good name out there.
To the Sunday beaches of the coast, where Mombasa County Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasil has sworn in the inaugural board of the Mombasa County Revolving Fund, which is entrusted to provide affordable financing to entrepreneurs. The 150 million shilling scheme is meant to benefit persons with disabilities, women, members of the beach management unions, border operators, market traders, and the youth. Abdul Swamad said the initiative underscores his administration's commitment to empowering communities that have previously struggled to access affordable credit. Youth led by Hamza Kombo applauded the move, cautioning against political interference, noting that transparency and accountability will be essential to ensuring the funds reach deserving beneficiaries.
Tuangalie discipline vijana ambao kwamba vijana wa kiume na wa kike ambao wameweza kusomeshwa na wakakubali yale masomo. It is now the revolving fund to consider them, waweze kuwapatia. Kama mtu amesomea saluni apatiwe pesa za kuweza kujifungulia na kupata vile vifaa, kisha atalipa taratibu bila riba, ili mwenzake, dadake na kakake pia na yeye aweze kusaidika.
Kwa tumepata power. Na hii power tumepata kwa sababu tunamshukuru Governor Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasil kwa kutambua vijana wa Mombasa.
Wish kwamba hii fund iweze kufikia kila mmoja, iweze kufikia PWDs, iweze kufikia vijana, iweze kufikia wamama wetu.
Tujitoeni, tuendeni tuka-apply. Mumesikia kuna airlifting, kwa hivyo wanaotaka kusafiri. Sasa hakuna kukaa nyuma, hakuna kuchangiwa. Wewe ni utoke uje maofisini, upewe fund yako, uende safari. Na hizi pesa jamani vijana, tumepewa hizi pesa tusifanye malali. Tuzitumie hizi pesa kwa appropriate way. Tufanye ni biashara.
The other news, Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni is calling on women health specialists to take advantage of education opportunities being offered by the government to further their studies and develop expertise in the areas of specialization. PS Mudhoni noted that despite women in health being 70%, most of them do not have opportunities to get training and scale their professional ladder.
Encourage women to go for postgraduate training. Remember, the government pays fully your fee to go for postgraduate training. So we are encouraging women specialists to also come up. If it is nurses, we need nurses who would go for specialist areas, you know, like nurses who work in the theater. If they are doctors, we need gynecologists, we need nephrologists, we need many specialists in this country. Women constitute 70% in the healthcare space. So again, we need to bring these women together to also consolidate our efforts, whether it is in terms of leadership or it is in terms of the technical expertise that they have.
And to environmental conservation now, where the Migori County Department of Environment is investigating allegations of environmental pollution at a jaggery processing plant located at Uriri Sub-County. Victor Oso, a technical officer at the Migori County Department of Environment, said preliminary assessment had revealed gaps in operations at the plant that could expose residents to environmental and health risks. The facility is located near St. Peter's Uriri Primary School, and residents are concerned about the welfare of learners.
In fact, we didn't know what was being constructed. Yeah, we only realized that when they were doing the testing of the machines. That is when we knew that the machines are making a lot of noise of a larger magnitude. Maybe for me, I look at time, but in the larger perspective, one, if I check on the time, there is still a smoke that is coming, which is hazardous.
Jaggery business going on behind us. The neighbors around this place have raised complaints with our office concerning excessive noise and emissions from the plant. So we've come as a department to do a formal assessment and to try and meet the proprietor.
Education stakeholders in Nandi County have called on the Ministry of Education to strengthen school safety strategies through thorough inspections and strict implementation of building safety regulations. The stakeholders further called on the Ministry of Education to take strict action against schools that do not comply with safety requirements, including closing them until they fully implement the established criteria. They spoke during the foundation stone laying and development checks distribution ceremony at St. Peter's Clavers Kapkibir Primary School in Chesumei constituency, I beg your pardon.
Ministry of Education guidelines. We just don't have the classrooms. We have included the staircase on one side of the building and the ramp for those students who will be able differently. We have included a lot of safety features within our building, including very wide doors, and all the doors are opening outside.
The full force of the law should be taken against any institution that does not conform to it. Ministry of Education, you will also be held accountable at some point, because if you are the ones who are actually the heads of these institutions and you are quite aware that there are institutions which are not conforming, please, you will bear the burden.
Very well, at about 26 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for a fast break, but when we come back, I'll run you through a couple of more stories, then we do business and the latest from the world of sports a little bit later. Don't go away.
Female entrepreneurs are navigating unique challenges, but are yet breaking barriers and redefining leadership.
Over the years, if my bosses used to tell me, do this, and it wasn't in my job description, I would still do it.
Yes.
But those kind of things make you become a team player.
It does.
And builds you an empire.
Me, I believe starting small, growing big. So for women who are there watching us, I can advise them to start small. Whatever you do, start small, aiming higher. And when you aim higher, you will grow big. You have to go and risk.
Where do you factor in sherehe in the middle of all that? Sherehe ni lazima.
Yes. That one we find time.
Yeah, that one we find time. Like me, Friday is my social time.
Yeah.
And Saturday is my chama.
Yeah,
with my fellow women.
With your fellow women,
yes,
your other daughters.
Nothing happens overnight.
Yes.
Hard work, long hours, standing, all those things come into the gift that you have today. So if everyone can try to be consistent, especially to the young people out there, consistent, patient, hard work, it pays off.
I'm very happy that KBC is making it possible for Kenyans to watch World Cup. I'm still hedging my bets on the teams that are there. Don't ask me which one for now. Let's leave that one for another day.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News. Moving on, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, that is the ODPP, has urged Kenyans to cooperate with investigators to ensure strong evidence-backed legal cases and a transparent justice system. Speaking during a law enforcement and prosecutorial strategy meeting, officer in charge of Narok County ODPP, Gitonga Muranga, indicated that public cooperation was a critical tool for prosecuting complex cases ranging from transnational organized crime to local unrest and corruption. He further noted that lack of cooperation by potential witnesses creates loopholes in investigations.
We can be able to speak together and discuss on challenges that may be affecting proper prosecution of cases. The intention is basically to see what areas we can be able to streamline reasons of cases failing in court and what he requires of us to be able to do to have a successful prosecution.
Operational challenges in investigation and prosecution of cases, and lastly strengthening coordination and streamlining interagency communication. This is for the purpose of bringing that coordination between the law enforcement officers.
Elsewhere, the government is set to strengthen climate resilience in urban areas through the Building Inclusive Climate Adaptation Program, BICAP, a United Nations-backed initiative targeting vulnerable communities. Addressing the media in Nairobi, Cabinet Secretary for Lands, Housing and Urban Planning, Alice Wahome, noted that the program will mobilize climate financing to improve livelihoods, food security and infrastructure while creating opportunities for young people. The government says Building Inclusive Climate Adaptation Program will transform the lives of urban residents by supporting climate adaptation and strengthening resilience against the effects of climate change.
We will be raising sufficient funding, scaled up funding to the level that will impact positively on the urban people, the urban poor. What will we do? We will build their resilience, scale up their adaptation, and then ensure that their livelihoods are supported. So therefore, we would expect better life, we will expect better facilities using these funds. We will intervene to ensure that the living areas for the urban poor are better, because also infrastructure will be part of the work that we expect. But we want to impact positively in the food security. Even in town, we do have food security issues. In fact, that's a big issue.
Communities living along Lakes Baringo and Bogoria in Baringo County have established community seed banks to preserve indigenous seeds and strengthen food security as rising lake waters continue to destroy farms and displace residents. According to Namunyak Self-Help Group Chairperson Dina Sikamoi, the community seed banks have become a reliable and affordable source of seeds for residents, especially during periods of shortage.
Yetu ya kuweka mbegu yetu tunaweka mbegu, alafu tunatoa, tunaenda kupanda huko. Hii mbegu imesaidia community na imesaidia sisi kama members, na community wanakuja kununua sasa mbegu hapa kwa ajili. Iko siku kama mwaka ile ingine mbegu imepotea, hata juzi mbegu imeenda bei kali huko. Sasa wamekuja kuchukua mbegu hapa, kaenda kupanda.
Sasa vile tumeona umuhimu ya seed bank, tumeona ni muhimu kwa sababu maji sasa ikikuja ikichukua mimea, tuko tuna mimea yetu kwa seed bank.
Now, Migori County has run out of the twice-yearly injectable HIV prevention drug lenacapavir amid rising demand for the medication among residents. Migori is among the 15 counties selected to roll out the drug and received approximately 500 doses in March 2026. Joshua Joel brings us this and more stories in our County News Brief.
Speaking, Migori County Executive Committee Member for Health, Kalibo Pondi, said the county grapples with the shortage as it awaits for the second consignment from the national government.
The first dose was given in March in some of our facilities here in Migori County, and we got a consignment of 500 doses. This consignment of 500 has been given to the beneficiaries.
Meanwhile, patients in Meru County struggle to access essential healthcare services following the ongoing doctors' strike in Meru Referral Hospital.
I want to invite the county government of Meru to open up channels of dialogue and communication so that we can be able to go back to restore industrial harmony and also to be able to serve the good people of Meru County.
Andrea Kahara coffee farmers in Githunguri, Kiambu County, accounting losses following a robbery attack that left a security guard dead.
Tungeomba serikali kama yaweza kusaidia wakulima na security, askari awe analala hapa kwa factory, kwa hiyo mfumo wa kukausha na kutengeneza kahawa, kwa sababu wale watchmen ambao tunaajiri hapa hawana silaha ya kutosha ya kung'ang'ana na hao watu.
Elsewhere, elders in Likoni constituency, Mombasa County, have urged leaders to preach peace and work towards bringing development projects to the people.
Tunaomba amani iwepo katika mji wa Likoni, na tunaomba kiongozi ambaye yuko sahihi hahubiri amani. Akihubiri amani, tutakuwa na amani.
And in Laikipia County, different stakeholders have joined hands in providing affordable housing solutions to communities in rural areas.
The design of that house will allow you to add a second bedroom, a third bedroom, so you build at your own pace, so that you don't start an incomplete house and you don't have those resources for you to be able to complete the house.
Finally, businesses in Malindi Town, Kilifi County, are set to reap big during the 3-day Summertide Festival, where various artists will converge to showcase their talents.
We are ready for you. As you can see, the security will be very tight. We have done all the necessary preparations just to make sure that this becomes one of the best events of the year.
Very well, time to make sense of business. Now, debt repayment is squeezing Africa's funding of critical sectors like education, infrastructure, and health. The continent is spending close to 12 trillion shillings debt servicing cost, with half of the continent's lower-income countries at a high risk of debt distress. Freedom from Debt Coalition is urging the African Union and multilateral lenders to develop a debt management framework to release the pressure on African countries. Speaking during the launch of the campaign in Nairobi, AHF Kenya Country Director Samuel Njue has said debt repayment continued to account for a significant share of government revenue, reducing the resources available for sectors such as healthcare. The organizations are advocating for closer cooperation among borrowing countries in debt negotiation and new financing mechanism to support sustainable development.
And we must need to stop digging. How do we stop digging? By getting fairer
loans by getting longer structured period that can allow us not to disrupt our economy, by ensuring that we are getting fair treatment.
As we are urging our country to go slow in external borrowing, we are also telling the international community and the borrowers to put considerations in place not to impoverish and to make countries not to afford the healthcare and the education.
If we are able to put the loans into the right use, we are going to reduce sickness, we are going to improve access to food security, we are going to improve our education, and these are the main functions of development.
Capacity building and sensitization of that youth population to understand the dimensions of debt, the implications of debt, and how to make the connections with what is failing in their daily life and what is happening at the macroeconomic level.
The State Department for Mining is undertaking a nationwide public participation exercise that seeks to introduce, among others, measures, stringent safety regulations, modernize the sector's regulatory landscape, and boost the sector's earnings to at least 10% of the country's GDP. According to the Director for Licensing, Compliance and Enforcement at the State Department for Mining, Gregory Kituku, the engagements will focus on the proposed Mine Health and Safety Regulations 2026, the Explosive Bill 2026, and the revised National Mineral Policy. The regulations are intended to improve the safety of workers and operators in large-scale, small-scale, and artisanal mining operations across the country.
It has set out new regulations on explosives and new license fees. You know, the current license fees for explosives have been so low, a license costing about 50 shillings, which is even less than the paper that is used to print the license. Then the third document is mineral policy. That one we have done in 2016. So we want to enhance the current mineral and mining policy to make it heavy on the mineral beneficiation.
Ni furaha kubwa sana kuona kwamba wale watu ambao wanahusika kulingana na sheria hii watakuwa wanajulishwa, wanafahamishwa, na kwamba hii sheria inachunga afya za wale ambao wanaondolewa, inachunga afya ya wale wanaofanya kazi, na inachunga afya ya wale ambao pia watakuja vizazi vijazo.
Now, arid and semi-arid counties of Turkana, Mandera, Wajir, Marsabit and Garissa County are set to benefit from a 13.5 billion shillings World Bank-backed underground water project. Water and Sanitation CS Dr. Eric Muga say the project is geared at stemming leakages, vandalism and improving dilapidated water systems. With construction already underway, CS Muga said urged water service providers to install smart water meters and seal leakages that have been linked to 15 billion shillings lost annually.
Is that the moment the CEO or the MD is aware that we are reading a common digital smart electromagnetic bulk meter, where the agency immediately hands over water to the county government. And by county government, I mean the water service provider, and the billing of the agency to the water service provider will be based on that common water meter, which is jointly read as it happens in Adi and in the coast.
So I think the utilities who are here, I'll ask you to ask, where are you? Are you the one who has covered your O&M, or are you the one who is still going to the governor every other month to support you to pay the salaries?
Further afield, vulnerable economies will still face the impact of long-term rising food and fuel prices despite the resumption of shipping activities in the Strait of Hormuz. This is according to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNTAD, which says the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz will only relieve global energy supply pressure in the short term. Details of this and other stories in our business roundup.
The data also showed that shipping activities in the Strait continued to recover on Tuesday, with a giant oil tanker and several small ships entering the Gulf. The total carrying capacity of the oil tankers passing through the Strait was approximately 11 million barrels of crude oil, indicating ship owners increasing confidence in transiting through the strategic waterway. Meanwhile, oil prices fell on Wednesday as investors weighed signs of progress in indirect US-Iran negotiation in Doha, which eased concerns about potential disruption to crude supplies in the Middle East. The West Texas Intermediate for August delivery dropped 92 cents or 1.32% to settle at $68.58 a barrel on the New York Mercantile Exchange. Brent crude for September delivery lost $1.38 or 1.89% to settle at $71.57 a barrel on the London ICE Futures Exchange. Finally, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres on Wednesday urged governments worldwide to strengthen artificial intelligence AI governance, warning that without shared rules, government and people will have less say in the outcome. Speaking at a press conference at UN headquarters in New York, Guterres welcomed the release of the first assessment report from the UN Independent International Scientific Panel on Artificial Intelligence. The report, released earlier on Wednesday and made available to governments and the public, outlines both the promise and perils of the technology.
Moving on, mobile network operators have been urged to improve and manage their quality of service to Kenyans and address challenges that arise from poor connectivity. Broadcasting Principal Secretary Stephen Isaboke says it is engaging MNOs to ensure that they streamline their services.
We have had a very good engagement. I think the MNOs are very committed to quality of service because, as they say, part of their remit, what they're really required to do is deliver a fantastic customer experience to Kenyans.
In delivering the best service that we can for Kenyans. That's our commitment from a licensing perspective, but it's also our commitment jointly across for all our customers. So it's not just purely for license, but it's also for our customers.
Moving on, SACCO leaders are being urged to entrench accountability to attract more membership, especially the youth. Cooperatives Alliance of Kenya CEO Daniel Marube says accountability will ensure member savings are protected and SACCOs remain competitive in the financial sector. The sustainability of the SACCO sector leaders have been encouraged to mainstream youth in leadership positions. Marube was speaking ahead of this year's Ushirika Day that will be celebrated on the 4th of July this year.
To consider humanity, to create an environment, both legal environments, political environments, to be sustainable, to support cooperative growth. In Kenya, this theme has become extremely relevant to us, especially now that we are heading towards elections next year. And we are calling upon all the cooperatives in Kenya. We are more than 28,000 members, that let us uphold peace. Let us promote peace within ourselves. Let us not discriminate one another based on political ideals. We, as cooperatives, let us come together based on our values and principles to promote peace, not only in Kenya, but across the world.
Yes. Yeah, switching gears to matter sports now, where England are through to the last 16 of the World Cup after a dramatic 2-1 win over DR Congo. England will now play co-host Mexico in the last 16 at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City on Monday. Take a look.
DR Congo took the lead early through Brian Kipenga and defended well for most of the game. England struggled to create chances, while DR Congo goalkeeper Lionel Mpasi made several excellent saves. Just before halftime, Johan Wissa missed a big chance to make it 2-0 when he hit the post. With only 15 minutes left, England were close to a surprise exit. But Captain Harry Kane stepped up when his team needed him the most. In the 75th minute, Kane headed in the equalizer from Anthony Gordon's cross. Then with 4 minutes left, he scored a brilliant winner, turning quickly before firing a powerful shot into the top corner. Kane's 2 late goals rescued England and kept their World Cup dream alive. England will now play co-host Mexico in the last 16 at the Azteca Stadium in Mexico City on Monday. Meanwhile, Yuri Tillemans scored a penalty late in extra time as Belgium produced a sensational comeback from 2 goals down to